Hello, and today I'm joined by Philip Murphy. He is a long-time meditation practitioner and guide, and he was the co-founder of the first US-based animal rebellion. Philip, today we are talking a bit about morals and ethics of veganism. I was wondering if you would mind describing how you see veganism as a crucial step in humanity's moral evolution.
Thank you, Victoria. It's great to be with you today. And it's a very significant topic. And, when you frame the question as you did, referencing for those who aren't aware, Leslie Cross, who's one of the early founders of the Vegan Society, used this framing that the commitment that the organization, the Vegan Society, had was that just that, in the midst of World War II, that this was necessary, a moral evolution into, and veganism as being foundational to that, in recognizing all sentient beings, not merely humans, as members of the moral community. So it really has been foundational from the very beginning of the modern vegan movement, and I certainly adhere to that view that it's really it is crucial to human moral evolution because it involves a recognition of all sentient beings being members of the moral community.
I wanted to also ask you a bit about you personally and why you went vegan.
Well, when I talk about the path that has led me to this moment, a big part of it is beginning to practice as a yogi in the Buddhist tradition, in Theravada Buddhism. In my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts, is a significant center across the river in Cambridge, Massachusetts, called the Cambridge Insight Meditation Center. I was brought there and began to practice. And I was very fortunate to have a teacher who was vegan. The founder of the center, who's a well-known teacher by the name of Larry Rosenberg, was vegan. So he incorporated veganism as acknowledging and respecting what is known as the first precept of 5 of the lay precepts in Buddhism, which is to not harm or kill sentient beings. And that's a definition by a great friend of mine, a Buddhist scholar by the name of Glenn Wallace. Not just killing, but harming, to ultimately respect all sentient life and to honor that as fully as possible. And I'm deeply grateful that I had that opportunity. Unfortunately, not all Buddhists interpret the first precept in the way that makes veganism a necessity. And part of the work that I do as a vegan activist is actually within these communities, Buddhist, but even beyond, to Dharmic communities that would include Hinduism, Jainism, even yoga, to really underscore the fact that the teachings are quite clear that this involves to practice and to walk the Dharma path is to recognize all sentient beings as members of this moral community, and that to respect their bodily autonomy and to not harm or kill them.
I also wanted to just ask for our listeners, because a lot of people listening may be new to veganism. Was there any challenges that you had to overcome?
I think there's frankly, an abiding challenge with regard to what our friend Roger Yates, the activist Roger Yates, and sociologist, has termed cultural speciesism. So there's the ongoing challenge of the culture just normalizes this violence against other animals based on the morally irrelevant trait of species membership, right? So that's a challenge. I think, frankly, and I heard someone speak about this recently, and I really resonated with the fact that, eliminating animal products, there's the challenge of the gut microbiome. There are microorganisms that feed on these products, if you will, and when those quote food products unquote stop coming into the body system, it sets off craving. These microorganisms set off cravings. So for about, I would say, I don't know, a few weeks, 3 weeks, that might have been a challenge, but from my meditation practice, I was able to kind of working with craving is a big part of that practice, right? Observing, noticing, and labeling what it's going. This is craving. This is this, and that this will pass. And once I got past that, from a physiological standpoint, that was not an issue, but that's a real thing. And then, of course, the cultural speciesism, navigating that is an ongoing challenge.
Yeah, that's great. And there's actually also very good advice to incorporate meditation as a coping mechanism for this. Before I let you go, Philip, I did just also want to ask if you could maybe, in a nutshell, tell us what the meaning of virtue ethics is.
Sure. So as simply as I can say it, from this awareness of the interconnection, and a great Vietnamese Buddhist master by the name of Thich Nhat Hanh termed the coin interbeing, this recognition of that we are all part of one large consciousness. Ultimately, the differentiation is a necessary illusion to navigate the world. From that, it's like, how can I harm another being, another sentient being, because I'm essentially harming myself, right? So that the moral impetus to act in accordance with that consciousness. And ethics, I think morality is a stance. Ethics is a commitment to behaviors that honor that moral stance that recognizes all sentient beings, right? So it's really about being consistent, having my actions align with my moral compass. So and I think this is really important in that it's not obligations. It's not something that I should or must do. It's an emergent property of wanting to be consistent, to move through the world with integrity, knowing that I am a member of a community that includes all sentient beings, whatever their species may be. So the ethical behavior is a manifestation of that moral commitment.
Wow, thank you so much, Philip. That was very well explained, and it's been incredibly an honor to have you on here for Why Go Vegan. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a lovely rest of your afternoon.
Thank you,
Take
Victoria.
care.
It was a pleasure to speak with you, and thank you for all the great work that you and the new organization is doing. Really appreciate it.